Hello. Welcome to my channel. This is Abundant Possibilities, and my name is Sarah James, and I am reading from the Paul Selig books. This is the book of Knowing and Worth. I'm reading these because this is a perfect time to hear all these messages, because even though this has been channeled, this was channeled, I think, in 2012, a couple years ago, all this stuff is relevant right now. This has no time to it. So the book of Knowing and Worth, it's some great information of what's going on in the world. It helps with everything. I mean, it's for humanity. So I'm going to read these to you, and you can decide for yourself. Paul Selig is a channeler, and if you haven't heard of him, you can go to YouTube and take a look at his website, take a look at the channels that he's done. I listen to the audiobooks all the time. Every time I'm roller skating, I'm listening to them. I tend to listen to them, you know, randomly. So I'll ask my guides, what messages do I need to hear? And as you can see, like, these pages, there's so many of them that are just underlined, and they've spoken to me so much, and I cannot express that. I've said it in every single other video that I've done, that I've read his books. If you haven't checked it out yet, then check it out, and I'd love to have discussions with some people about it. I'm signing up. I am doing his workshop tonight, actually. It's called Ascension. So yeah, I'm very excited about that, and I'm excited for this journey. Right now we're in the George Floyd era, where it's Black Lives Matter and protesting, and there's some rioting, and then there's helicopters flying overhead. We're in a curfew. Every night I get an emergency signal on my phone saying that we're in curfew. The other day is at 1. I'll let that pass for a second. And in that, you know, we just got back from Colorado, where it was great, and hiking and kind of being away from all this stuff, and then being back in the city. It's really, I felt great, you know, to be honest with you. These books have helped me stay in the upper room, and I can't even thank Paul enough for being a channel for this. I can't thank the guides enough for letting me experience just divine joy every day, no matter what's going on. Every day I'm grateful. So with that, I want to share that gratitude with other people and share what it is that is helping me along my journey. And this is one of those things that has definitely helped me out on my journey. So for everything that we're going through right now, as a humanity, I love you. I know who you are. I know what you are. I know how you serve. I'm here with you. I'm biracial. I've said that before. I've experienced racism on both sides, throughout my life. I've felt like my voice wasn't being heard. I've finally been able to open up my throat chakra a little bit more and express myself. And I'm not even going to say a little bit more. I've really opened up my throat chakra quite a bit. And doing these videos, no matter how sporadic they are, that has helped me step past my fear of using my voice and expressing myself in my freedom. And that is something that I credit these books tremendously for helping me with that. So I'm going to start off with the introduction. This is the book of Knowing and Worth by Paul Selig. Introduction, day 1. If you have the book, you can read along with me. And if you have the book and you want to talk about your experiences with these books, please leave a message down below. The community that this has created. I've been in one of the workshops where we do the group meditation. I think there was like 6,000 people or something doing this meditation. You could feel it. I mean, you could feel the energy coming through. And so many times I just cry these tears of gratitude. And okay, I'm back. So my phone rang, and luckily I saw it and I answered it because I needed to return a mixer that we borrowed from somebody. Thank you, Denise, for letting us borrow your mixer so we can make some delicious key lime pies. I so much appreciate it. I love gifts. and I accept all gifts. So thank you for that wonderful gift of letting us use your mixer. Now, what I was saying, we are going some crazy things right now. There are some just the coronavirus, there's the rioting, there's looting, there's a lot of stuff. Like, we are in a mix of just shaking up this energy. Man, we are getting it out. And there's so many wonderful videos that I found that has helped me just navigate this whole experience. I mean, I haven't done the videos like I wanted to do the videos, and I'll get better at that. That is my intention. But there's been some wonderful videos that I found to help with all of this, with getting the energy out, with grounding, with, you know, just kind of staying in the upper room, with giving love to even the people that drive me insane listening to them, like our current president. I know a lot of people like him. I'm not one of them that will say that I like him, but I do understand his purpose. I know who he is. I know what he is. I know how he serves. So thank you, Trump, and I send you love. I send you love. I send you lots and lots and lots of loving energy from Source. Just loving energy. And I send that out to anybody that just needs some loving energy. Just some loving energy from Source. That's from me to you. So back to where I was. I'm going to be reading from the Paul Selig books because I love them and because somebody else out there loves them as well. I know that because I've been in the groups with people, 6,000 people, that just love the messages that he gets from the guardians and from the guides, not guardians, but I don't remember what they're called or what they call themselves. They don't really say a name too much, but Melchizedek is one of the names that they have called themselves. So thank you, guardian angels and ascended masters and my own higher self, for finding this and for attuning to it and for getting to the space where I want to share it with other people. So I'm going to read from the introduction, day 1. Now, I will tell you that if I stumble up, that's fine. I'll pause. I'll start again in that space. I'll read it slow so you can get it. If you want to read along, that's great. And we'll see where it goes. Okay. We are speaking as we can about what is to come and what must be said to illumine those who read this text. This is a time of great change and transition. And each of you who stands in your own worth will align to your own knowing and claim your identity in the highest way available to you now. This is a time of great change, and a great awakening is upon you. But you must attend to yourselves as the one who is responsible for your own identity. And we underline this. You must be responsible to yourself as the one responsible for your own identity. The claims that you make, each one of you, I know who I am in my life, in my work, in my gatherings, in my exchanges, are the ways you identify yourself with. And what we must tell you now is that when you operate in a diminished sense of self, you operate in lack and in fear. You have not been told who you were, and consequently, you identify yourself through structures that adhere to limitations. Ain't that the truth? Now, each one of you reading this has already woken to the fact that there is more to this world than what you have thought. You are allowing the new experience to come to you in your own identity as a new possibility unveils itself. And as you do this, you create a new possibility to be, to see the world differently, and to adhere to new possibilities as they may present themselves. So you are already ready. You are already preparing yourselves for the new ideals that are coming to you through the acquisition of the information that we will present to you in this volume of knowing. And that is the title of this book, the Book of Knowing and Worth. Now we say this again, The Book of Knowing and Worth will be the title for this text because it is about your own knowing and the claim of worth that is inherited by each of you as you sing your song on this plane and lift this plane of existence to a new level of incarnation. What is happening now on this plane is that those of you who have gathered have decided to incarnate at the highest level available to you. And the acquisition of knowing who and what you truly are is what is required to make this so. When there is a massed elevation in consciousness, what begins to happen is that the incarnations that you stand in begin to align to the next phase of development on this plane, and the plane must shift itself to reflect the new knowing that each of you are born into. Now you have questions about this. What does my world look like? Who am I at this level of incarnation? And we will tell you who you are, each and every one of you. The aspect of the divine that you are and have always been intended to be has come forward to be renamed. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. And the claim of this, as you create from it, expressed as you, culminates in a new awakening of your own being through the manifestation of the self as the Christ. Now, we don't mean this in a heretical way. We mean this in the most truthful way available to you. The aspect of the Creator that may be manifested in form is how we talk of the Christ. And the Christ as you, as you, as you, is the teaching of this text. Can man be Christ? Man is Christ, but has not awakened to it. The awakening that we speak of is the inheritance of the Creator born in each and every individual awakened to his own worth, to her own worth, as a manifestation of the Creator in form. You stand in your worth each and every day, like it or not. You decide what you are worth. You always have. I am a small man with fear. I am a happy lady with 3 children. I know who I am when I go to school to drop them off and go back and make my cookies. You claim your identities, large and small, in your worth. I'll wait for this helicopter to go by. You claim your identities, large and small, in your worth. And you claim your worth as you feel you are allowed to. You have been diminished, as we have taught you in our previous text, by structures that would keep you in fear of claiming this. And we are singing your song today for you so that you may learn the words to the song of your own soul's significance. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. And as I sing, I know. And as I know, I incarnate as my true self. And the true self I speak of is the Christ in manifestation as man. We sing your song for you so that you may learn the words. We know who you are. We know what you are intended to be. But you must assign yourselves, each and every one of you, to the awareness that this can be so. That you may claim yourselves, each and every one of you, as you have been meant to be. Now you decide every waking moment of your life who and what you are. I am the man who is ashamed. I am the woman who laughs. I am the one who brings joy. I am the one who worries too much. However you say yourselves, as your claim, you incarnate as. And your incarnation, we say, is the level of vibration that you attend to in your worth. You are worth what you say you are. You always have been. If you say you are worth $2, you will call yourself $2 and you will claim $2 and not a penny more. When you know you are the Christ, the aspect of the Creator that may be in form, by the level of knowing and design and creation that is available at that level of consciousness, you claim your identity in a new way, and your world will reflect this. Now, Paul is wondering, are we telling mankind that they are the Christ? And yes, we are. But you have not known the magnificence of who and what you are, because you have not been attuned to the possibility that it can be so. It has been made so already. The way was shown to you many times, but what you have done as a civilization is adhere to paradigms that will tell you this cannot be so. You relinquish your authority. You each relinquish your authority every time that you agree that you are small, that you are dominated by a structure that must know more than you. You design this, you know. You are so used to this, to playing the game of limitation that you create from it. It is the hat you wear that shields you from the sun that would awaken you. I know who I am in my limitation, in my poverty, in my fear, in my shame, in my unknowing. Now you may know things. You may claim your knowing, but you must do this in an awareness of your worth. Your worth, we say, is what is at stake here, and it is the teaching of this text. We do not design a text to make you feel better about yourselves. That is not our interest. However, it is helpful if you feel good because you will be more attentive. I feel good. But when we say we want you knowing of your worth in a profound way. I have a right to live my life in an awareness of my Christ itself, in my manifestation, and call to me those experiences, those expressions of the Christ that would meet me at this level of knowing. Now you decide, you the reader, the listener, the witness to this expression on a page that is informed by knowing. And the information we give you on the page is being endowed with properties and claims that will transition you from the small self you have known into the manifestation of the Christ as can be born in man. Do you know this? The Christ can be born in man, in each of you, and in the ones besides you, in the ones you may meet and may never meet. It can be born because this is the time of the Creator's welcome to each of you. Now we sing your song for you in this text so that you may learn the words, so that you may get comfortable with the ideals that we set forth for you to adhere to. The designs you make, the way you move through this incarnation that may have been born in worry and designed in fear will begin to unfold. They will begin to peel back so you may see yourselves as you are intended to be. The designs that we give you, the ways that you may know yourselves in conjunction with your fellows, and all the things you have created will be what you know in a new way as you respond to our teaching. Now we ask you this: who is frightened of the possibility of being the Christ? As being manifested as the Christ consciousness as can be attained in the bodies you stand in the awareness you may hold. Who among you is frightened of this? You all are, you know. And you know why? Because you were lied to, and you were told it could not be so. Now when we say it is so, we say it from expression, from our knowing, from our being as we incarnate as this. We say it can be so. Now, we have known ourselves in different ways, in different forms, at different times in this history, in this ideal you call a plane. As we come to teach you, we have taken material form, or we have stayed in identity in the ethers. It does not matter. But what we can claim for you is that this is so, has been so, and you were lied to that it could not be so. We pull back the pages of the book that was held from you to show you the real words that are imprinted on the page. And the real words imprinted on the page, I am the Word, the book of knowing and worth, will call to you your identity in every expression you know. Everything you see before you, everything you see, you have agreed to. Do you know this? Everything on the shelf of your cabinets, everything on the street, everything in the sky you have agreed to. It could not be there if it was not agreed to you collectively and individually, we will say, because the individual is an aspect of the collective whole. Now we say to you, what you witness, what you have created and are in agreement with, you are shaking hands with. When you agree with something, you shake its hand and you are in alignment with it. What you are in alignment with, you concur with. You are in co-resonance as. What you are in co-resonance as, you hold as your frequency. What you hold as your frequency, you manifest. As we say you are the Christ, you must remember yourselves and release the acquisitions, the claims of self, the things you co-resonate with that are not in alignment with this truth. And those things that are not in alignment will be released for you by the reading of this text. We have a mission here, that those of you who decide, and we underline decide, that this can be so, will have the experience that is intended by this text. Those of you who decide that you may align, that you may be in triumph, that you may be risen as the Christ manifested in man, will have the experience and the knowing and the absolution of your history as one in limitation that may be claimed at this juncture, at your time. The time that you stand in now is a time of judgment and reckoning. I'm going to read that again. The time you stand in now is a time of judgment and reckoning. And we do not use heretical terms to clarify this for you. You are the creator. You face your own creations. And when you face a creation, you decide what you must do next. The time that you stand in is one of a reckoning. A reckoning is a witnessing and a facing, so you may align to a new possibility. The awakening of each man as he stands in his body, knowing himself as truth, as an incarnation of an aspect of the Creator that may be known as him in his worth, is what we sing to you. We bring on each page a teaching that may be known by the mind. We bring on each page a teaching that may be known by the Spirit. We bring on each page a teaching that may be known by the soul as the personality transitions into this new level of awareness. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. Who you are, we say, is who you say you are. Understand this, please. Who you are is what you say you are. I am an aspect of the Creator in form, is a claim of worth and truth. You will always be this. You have always been this. It cannot be otherwise. What you are is in this body, in this expression, in this life you have chosen to bring yourself this experience. How you serve, we say, how each man serves, how each being serves, is how they are expressed as their own consciousness. What they agree to and shake hands, what they co-resonate with and create from. When you know how you serve, you know who you are, and your reflection is brought back to you in manifestation. And this means you get what you expect, and you expect to get what you know. When you know who you are in truth, your life will change because it cannot not change. Do you understand this? Yes. You cannot go to the store and pick up the peas off the shelf and expect them to be other when you get home. You go to the peas, you get the peas. You go to the manifestation of yourself as the Christ, as the being who can be incarnated as the Christ, and you witness it in everything around you. You do because you can, and you can because you know, and what you know is what you claim. There is no one reading this text who does not know this already on a very deep level. You are born with this information. It has been instilled in you by God, if you wish, by what creates you, to be remembered as you as the aspect of Source. But then you are lied to, and you agree with the lie. The lie has been going on for far, far too long. Now we understand that the humanity you hold is many-faceted. You have your feelings, you have your bodies, you have these things that were inherited by you in structure, in form, in governance, in religion, that inform everything. But we are telling you this now. You are not your history. You are not your history, and in fact, you never were intended to be. But the walls that were forged between you and your divine self were cemented by information that was historically born to keep you from your true worth. You can no longer blame anybody for being who and what you are. All you do now is recreate what you have known in limitation, because it's all you think you're allowed to get. Now we ask you a question. Do you want this? If you want it, you must keep reading, and you must do this book as if it is a course in your own awakening to the Christ as you. I'm going to pause for a second. You know how I've shown how I've underlined so many lines out of these books? Every single book is like this. It's doing the work. It's calling out your own bullshit and your story that you've created around who told you that you weren't good enough or worthy enough or blah, 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 blah. It's doing the work, and it's putting people in the light that, man, sometimes you do not want to do. You're just, you might be in a lower vibration, whatever, but it is doing the work. So, yeah. That's my little pause there. If you do not want this, we thank you for your patience so far, and we say, one day we will nod to you, we will welcome you again, and perhaps we will be in conversation because you are not ready yet to release what you have known. But when you are, this information will be available to you both in material form and in the spiritual dictation that aligns to the text on this page, on the page. There was no one reading this book who was not ready to know these things once again. I was ready. Holy shit. I was ready. And I said yes. I said yes 1,000 times. Yes, 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 1,000 times. Yes, I welcome thee. Yes. Now we ask you this. What stands in the way of your worth? What have you created that would keep you from God? What have you attended to, believed, agreed upon, that would keep you from the love of your Creator? What are those things that you have invested so much power in that they would keep you in hiding from the kingdom that is welcoming you? You must look at these things and realize what they are. Creations born in fear that you use now to protect you from the possibility that you may be much more wonderful than you have ever imagined. We sing your song for you, and we sing it now. The aspect of you that is ready to be welcomed will be sung as a note on a violin. It will strain, it will play out, it will echo into the universe and call you back to yourself as your music plays. When you are in resonance with the Christ, when the note is being sung and has played as you, and we underline as you will sing the song of the Christ, and your identity will be healed. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. I know who I am is a claim of truth. You always know who you are, even when you think you don't. What you claim as you is how you manifest and what you call to you. As your incarnation makes itself known to you, what you would welcome to you will be in transition, and the high forms that would present themselves to you in this knowing will be claimed as you say, welcome. The knowing of what you are, I know who I am, I know what I am, and we underline what. The manifestation that you stand in will always be true. You know what you have. You know what you create because it is expressed by you in this material form. How you serve is how you express. And every one of you is singing his own song, her song, in expression every moment of every waking day. Your vibration is your song. and your vibration is reflected as your consciousness. You cannot think a thing and not align to it. The thought is what aligns you. The broadcast you play as the radio you are, is your expression. If you do not like the radio station that you are expressing, it is time to change the channel. And we are giving you the tools to do that. The awakening that will come to you, to each one who responds to this text as a teaching, will bring you to a new awareness not only of your worth, but of the worth of all your fellows, of every living thing, of all that you have created. The manifestations will be such that you may no longer expect yourself to know yourself as you were, because who you were was a product of thought and agreement to structure that no longer aligns to you. When it no longer aligns to you, it is not in your frequency. What is not in your frequency cannot be created in manifestation in the physical realm. Do you each understand this? The significance of this teaching as we attend to you is that you must realize who the heck you are, and what you know, and how you may be expressed to the world will be in wonder. Now, we have spoken of wonder in our previous text, and when you wonder, you open up to a new possibility. Nothing can happen anew without a possibility first being presented. You must open to the possibility in order to change what you have known. This is the awakening. We are saying yes to you, to each of you, to each one of you as you say yes to yourselves. I know who I am in my worth. I know what I am in my worth. I know how I serve in my worth. And the song that is sung by you is one of many songs as the great chorus ensues and the new awakening comes and this plane is healed of fear. Now we ask you this. If you do not want to go on this journey, why? You must learn to ask yourself the right questions. Why do you wish to go on this journey and why do you not? You must become accountable for each choice you make, because if you are not accountable, you are not aware. And if you are not aware, you are asleep. We wake you up to your own choices, to the one who may choose, who may sing, who may redesign herself and consequently redesign her world in the highest way that you may be in alignment to. The song has begun, the orchestra is prepared, the music is open to be read, and the vibration is high. We sing with you now. We welcome you to the new text and to the new adventures in your worth, and all that may be called to you, and all that will be left behind. We sing your song with you, and together we join the world in its awakening. We thank you for your presence. We will speak to you soon. Good night. Thank you. Leave your comments below. Let me know if this resonated with you, if it struck a trigger in you. Let me know what that is too. That's interesting to find out, what happens when little triggers are hit. I know that I was raised going to church, and I went to a Baptist church, but we went to church every Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and as much as I loved the service, I loved how I felt going into it, I also in many ways was led to believe that somehow I was separate from God, that God was this outside man, and then, I was this person that needed to go into a church and pray forgiveness or, whatever. Then over time, that just didn't sit right. I knew that there was a lot more, and that I was no different than the trees and the stars and the couch that I'm sitting on and everything around me. So yeah, these came into my life at a time where I was just ready to wake up to that truth of who I knew I was. And I'm still learning. I am still learning. I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where I'm going to say, okay, I got it. I know everything. I don't even need to. I'm learning, I'm on the mountainside, I am traveling with my fellow humans, and there are people that are a lot more aligned than I am if I'm comparing, and there can be people that are less aligned than I am that I don't even, I'm in my own lane. All I know is that I can work on me, and that's what I've been doing. So yeah, it feels great. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll read a couple more. Like I'll just keep reading because I enjoy reading, and yeah, it feels good. It feels good to use your voice in this way. So it feels good for me to use my voice in this way, I should say. I love you. I know who you are. I know what you are. I know how you serve. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wherever you are, I send you love. Keep your head high. We are all in this together. All in this together. This is an awakening. I mean, this is something that all of us are in. So happy to spread my light, and thankful for all the other light bearers that shine their light for me so I can have a clearer path to walk on. Thank you. I know who you are. I know what you are. I know how you serve, and I am so grateful for you. So yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone. I love you.